Morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning indeed. Good morning indeed. If you're coming in, get the likes up, get the likes up, get the likes up. We're going to talk about something. We're going to talk about something. We're going to talk about this. What's going on? What's going on? If you're coming in, do me a favor, get the likes up. Get the likes up if you're coming in. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I wouldn't say happy Memorial Day, but today is Memorial Day in America, where we recognize the sacrifices that those who have made the choice, those who have made the choice to serve in the American Armed Forces, the sacrifices they have made in conflicts where they have lost their lives. I'm not going to get into the context of whether the conflicts were justified or not. That is not what Memorial Day is about. Memorial Day is about recognizing the sacrifices that people who have chosen that line of work for whatever their motivation was, be it patriotism or even just being security and sustenance, whatever that may be, the sacrifices they have made in choosing to serve the armed forces of the United States and have lost their lives in that or to that end. This is remembering them. This is not Veterans Day, where you are recognizing those who have chosen to serve in the armed forces and are actively alive. Right? This is not Veterans Day. I've had people, well, thank you, Mike, for your service. And I'm like, it's not what Memorial Day is about, but thank you for your support. It's not what Memorial Day is about. Okay, so I just wanted to start this live by saying that. Those of you all who are coming in, do me a favor, tap that screen and please get the likes up. Please get the likes up. You probably saw the title of what this live was going to be about today, and that is talking about things relative to children. That's what we're talking about today. We're not talking about teachers. That's done, and I don't want to say done and gone, but that's another topic. Yes, he said, thank you for the clarification. Are you doing key bumps? I don't even know what that means. Prayers for the fallen. Yes, yes, yes. Absolutely. Thank you for the clarification there. I was telling folks in my Sunday school yesterday the same thing. Absolutely. And they say it with good intention. I will say that. My day has been starting off good, hippie travelers. Hope your day has been going well. I've got things relative to training that I'm going to do. Yes. You said, am I a principal? I am a principal instructor, but not a principal in a school. What motivated me to do this? Cash, what is the this you're referring to? What is the this you're referring to? And do me a favor, if you're here, tap the likes, tap the likes, tap the likes. What's going on, Kim? Valerie, is it Valerie? Valerie Thomas, thank you. Sometimes people say Valerie, adding an E there. Oh, what made me do my position? I have multiple positions. I'm an instructor of various disciplines. I teach firearms, defensive tactics. I advocate for children. I have mentorship programs in schools. I'm a former cop, former adjunct professor of criminal justice, teaching various topics at the collegiate level, the bachelor's level, so to speak, in criminal justice. Commentator on several local and national media outlets and things relative to criminal justice and firearms related things. So I do a lot of stuff. What made me do what I did? It's a combination of workaholism to run from trauma. I'm just going to be transparent. That's what it is. It's a combination of that. And it's a combination of passion. Everything that I do is something that I wanted to do, something that I enjoy doing. Yes, Prime, I still do that stuff. Things that I enjoy doing. So nothing I do is really work for me. It is effort. It is tiring, but it's not work for me. So I hope that answered your question. There's more I could go in on that specific question, but that's just what I choose to talk about right now without getting so deep of a dive into that rabbit hole. Do you recommend a revolver as a concealed carry weapon? It depends. My recommendations on those things, I'm in Illinois. My recommendations on firearms, and I'll answer your question in a minute. Is it Lior Cheerios? I hope I said that right. Affordable, comfortable, usable, battle ready. Affordable, comfortable, usable, battle ready. Affordable, comfortable, usable, battle ready. You know, will a revolver work? Sure. Will it work for you? I don't know. There's a variety of factors that go in with that. You just have to go to the firearms range or the gun store and see what works for you. Did I get my license fixed? What do you mean by license? My licenses have always been fixed. You mean my license plate? No. I've said in previous videos what I do and why I do what I do. And it comes with risk. It comes with consequences, right? Consequences are neither bad nor good. They're just the results of your choices, right? I'll say that again. Consequences are neither bad nor good. They're just the results of your choices. Now, those results can be bad. Those results can be good. But the consequences are neither right nor wrong. They're just the results of your choices. Or just the results of things that logically happen or naturally happen, given that you are in a certain area. Different things happen. You see what I'm saying? So that's that. I think you're just beautiful. Thank you, Marianne. I appreciate that. So let's go on ahead and talk about it. Do me a favor. If you're watching this, tap that screen. This is not going to be a firearms conversation, even though I am a firearms instructor. This is not going to be a firearms conversation. So if you're here for a firearms conversation, I'd invite you to stay. You're more than welcome to stay. But that's not what this conversation is about. This is a parenting conversation. That's what this is about. Okay. Thank you, Cooper. I appreciate that. Thank you, Megan. Appreciate that too. So I'm going to give you this disclaimer. Do me a favor. If you're here, the reason why I'm asking you to tap the screen, get the likes up, is it shows your interest in this, one. And then two, it shows that, it gets other people into the conversation because I want a more robust conversation. And once I start talking on the topic and we start having those conversations, you're more than welcome to tap that guest button and come up to the live so that we can talk about it. When I go live from here on out, and I'll tell you what the topic is in a minute, Luis. When I go live from here on out, it's to teach. And I think I've been doing that, right? Sometimes it'll be a diatribe or it'll be a rant, right? But it is to teach. It is to teach. Hello from Alaska. You said a lot of kids sadly have been passing away in New York City. Can we be friends? Let's have lunch in Cincinnati. I've been to Cincinnati before. Don't know when I'm going back there. My books are in libraries there. Have you ever been to Rahway? I don't even know. No. I don't know. Consequences are neither bad nor good. They're just the results of your choices. Got to keep that. Yes, Prime. Yes. The word consequences has been weaponized. It's been weaponized by people. Yes, you can mourn your dad today if you choose to. Yes, you can if you choose to. What am I carrying right now? SIG 320X Compact. What up, Mike? Miss you, bro. Sad that only see you when it's time to renew. Thanks for keeping it real. Well, you don't have to see me when it's time to renew. I do have more classes coming out, right? So if you want to get in my more training classes that I just put out there, my more training classes, 773-644-5000. 773-644-5000. Here's the number again. 773-644-5000. Just text the letter M. M. M like Mike. M like Mary. M like more. Text the letter M. 773-644-5000. If you are in the Chicago land area. Right now, I just teach in Illinois, but I will be teaching in other places, right? If you're in the Chicago land area, okay? And you want to just get more training, you can just, more training is just that, more, right? What does more stand for? More open, repetitive education. More open, repetitive education. You said I'm in Humboldt Park. I'm in Chicago, Southeast Side, right? Auburn, Gresham. No, I'm in Chatham, actually. Chatham. All right, so let's get to it. This is the video. Somebody asked me what the topic was. The topic was parenting. I'm 773-644-5000. 773-644-5000. Text the word M, like M like Mary, M like more, right? Text the word M, or the letter M, sorry, to that. You said I whoop my kids, that's how I parent. Okay, I mean, whatever works for you. I'm not sure it works for them. It definitely works for you because you're teaching compliance for sure. You'll whoop them, right? Can the police whoop you to comply? I'm not saying will they. I'm just saying, can they whoop you to comply? You said they listen good after? Yeah, you kind of beat them. I mean, you actually beat them to comply. But whatever. I guess, and see, it's really making you feel good. It's really making you feel good. That's what that is. You said you love the ringtone. Did I get whooped as a child? Yeah, I did. Yes, I did. And I'm telling you, it did not work. Those whoopings did not work. It made me fight back. It made me fight back. It absolutely did. It absolutely did. So no, those whoopings did not work. Punishment works so well. That's okay, Big Back. You're here for a reason, right? Punishment works so well. It teaches you what not to do. It doesn't teach you what to do. Thank you, Tiffany. Yes, I got my ass beat, but I won't touch mine. I communicate with my babies, right? My wife is pregnant. I'm trying to listen to other ways right now. Okay, so let's get into the topic of discussion. I'm going to play a video and then we'll have a discussion and I'll play it again, okay? I'll play it again. No matter how bad they do something, I should never hit them like ever. Big Back, let's have that discussion. Here we go. I'm going to play the video. Here we go.
Repeat that. I parent poorly and forget Mother's Day. What he told you? Mm-hmm. Did he tell you that? This afternoon, this evening. He told you that you parent poorly. Yes. And to forget Mother's Day. Yeah. He said that to you? Mm-hmm. No, he didn't. Ask him. Yes, I did. Truthfully, I did. You told your mother that she parents poorly and forget about Mother's Day? Why would you tell her that? Have you lost your mind? No. Why would you think that it's okay to speak to your mother like that? To tell your mother that she parents poorly and to forget about Mother's Day? How about we forget about Christmas? How about we forget about that? How about we forget about your birthday? Let's say we forget about that. As a matter of fact.
All right. Did you all see the video? If you want me to replay the video again, type the number 2. What's up, Queen? How are you? Queen Priestess, what's going on? Type the number 2 if you want me to repeat the video again, because I want to have a conversation on this topic. And do me a favor. If you're here, tap that screen, get the likes up, right? Punishing him for being honest is wild. Okay, I got one number 2. I'm going to replay the video again. And then we're going to have a discussion on that. Okay, that's what this room is. We're not talking about anything firearms related. We're talking about parenting. Okay, we're going to repeat. Here we go. Oh, I'm going to
repeat that. I parent poorly and forget Mother's Day. What he told you? Mm-hmm. Did he tell you that? This afternoon, this evening. He told you that you parent poorly. Yes. And to forget Mother's Day. Yeah.
Hold on for a minute, y'all. Hold on. I can't talk right now. You got to text me, okay? Yeah, people don't listen. People do not listen. I got a voicemail and a website.
I parent poorly and forget Mother's Day. What he told you? Mm-hmm. Did he tell you that? This afternoon, this evening. He told you that you parent poorly. Yes. And to forget Mother's Day. Yeah. He said that to you? Mm-hmm. No, he didn't. Ask him. Yes, I did. Truthfully, I did. You told your mother that she parents poorly and forget about Mother's Day? Why would you tell her that? Have you lost your mind? No. Why would you think that it's okay to speak to your mother like that? To tell your mother that she parents poorly and to forget about Mother's Day? How about we forget about Christmas? How about we forget about that? How about we forget about your birthday? Let's say we forget about that. As a matter of fact.
All right. So, yes, Queen Priestess, that is definitely the case. So let me give you all a recap. Son says to mom that mom parents poorly and to forget about Mother's Day. Let me ask you this question. What would be some of the reasons? First of all, let's back this up. Miss Vicky May says all this will do is make her son not want to communicate anything else. He is being punished and parents ask for, this is Queen Priestess, he is being punished and parents ask for their children to tell them anything and then he gets in trouble. Yes, I've done that exact same thing. It works. It gives them perspective and how it feels. Yes. Here we go. Let's move on. So, should children be allowed to, according to the Black National Anthem, lift every voice and sing? I remember in school, right, and I'm in my 40s, right? I remember you said, when I get tired, tag you in. Absolutely, Sauce by Summer. Absolutely. Say less, right? I'll invite people up. I'm going to do my little monologue, so to speak, and then I'll invite people up because I want a very robust conversation, right? This is Memorial Day. That's why I decided to go live around 8 something, because some of y'all still in bed right now. And some of y'all at work, right? But the Black National Anthem literally says, lift every voice and sing. But children can't do that. Children can't do that. Children can't do that. Why is that? Our culture has a bad habit of being seen and not, of a child being seen and not heard, and that is extremely toxic. Absolutely. Absolutely. Vicky, it's Vicky May. Absolutely. Why am I not following you? I just followed you now, Vicky. Right? Absolutely. Queen Priestess, let me see. Okay, I know I'm following you. Right? Luis, you said there is a way to say things. Maybe the boy didn't say it in the best way, but it doesn't mean we shouldn't acknowledge his feelings. I like the way the boy was honest. He said, honestly, yes, I did say this. So what is what would you do? Right? And then black mothers bash me for expressing the pain my mama put me through on TikTok. I'm just saying, right? I'm just saying. Here we go. So, mom tells man, and I don't know if man is dad or not. Thank you, Dan, for that, right? And then he used the word poorly, which was mature. Mature or immature? I don't know. Okay, here we go. Mom tells man, man asks in front of mom to repeat what son says. She repeats it. Her tone of voice, right, is something of note. Son respectfully confirms what she said, he said. Man, in what appears to be disbelief, asks, now why would he say that, right? Has he lost his mind? And the son says calmly and respectfully, no, right? Man says, how about we forget about birthday? How about we forget about Christmas, right? As soon as I heard, how about we forget about your birthday? How about we forget about Christmas? This, to me, showed me that this family is a family of materialism. The father is a father where, and the thing is, everything that I'm saying is not to shame or judge the mother or the father or the mother or even that man, right? And I'm going to go back and read your comments in a minute. So just indulge me for a minute because I'm on my monologue, right? But it just, when you are not taught the value of value itself, the value of self, the value of people, the value of relationships, the value of resources, and the expiration of those things, our families are taught, in essence, because of other things that come before the creation of our families, to actually be very materialistic. Okay. You said that isn't their kid's father. That's the doctor that goes into the homes of troubled kids. Thank you for that, Chrissy. But that's not better. That's worse. Okay. So let's add that to it. Right. And I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that. That's why I said man. I didn't put a title to him, but I'm going to say man is doctor. And this is going to be very important too for troubled kids. So do me a favor. Please send me his page. Thank you, Chrissy. If you have another device, or if you can afford to do so right now, look up the word therapy and type up the definition of therapy in the comments. I'll wait. See, I don't just want to teach and talk. I want to involve you. Why? Tell me I won't remember. Teach me I will remember. Involve me, I will learn. Tell me how was Yosef comes in the comments and says block me. I'm going to keep your ass just cuz. Why would you come in and say block me? That's crazy. He got my attention, though. Don't come in and say block me. Here we go. I won't block you, Yosef. I won't block you. Tell me I won't remember. Teach me I will remember. Involve me, I will learn. Okay? So, I want to involve you. You said therapy, treatment intended to relieve or heal a disorder, right? Treatment intended to relieve or heal a disorder. Okay. The Lily speaks. Thank you. I just followed you. Here we go. Therapy does not mean therapist. Therapy does not mean therapist. Therapeutic medical treatment of implant. Not that one. No, not that definition. Here we go. Therapy does not mean therapist. Right? I'll say it again. And when I teach repetitively. Why? Education must be rigorous. Education must be relevant. Educators must build relationships before learning happens, and the education must be reinforced repetitively. Okay? So, here we go. Therapy does not mean therapist. Why do I say that? Because here you have it where the man is a doctor for troubled kids and goes into the home. But what you may also find out is in your studies of human behavior. Yes, please tell me his name. I will gladly shout his name out, Chrissy. Thank you. Right? Here we go. What you may find out in a percentage of individuals who help other people is that they haven't worked out on their own issues either. The prison doctor is his name. And that's a name kind of fitting for his approach. That's a name kind of fitting for his approach. Here's the reason why I say that. Struggle mentorship does not work. I say again, struggle mentorship does not work. His name is the prison doctor. Struggle mentorship does not work. Let me tell you what I mean by struggle mentorship. Do me a favor. Tap the screen. Let's get the likes up. Here we go. When you get these good-intentioned mentors who come into the homes, the schools, the places where, quote, troubled kids are. And yes, Haley, that's how I got notice of that, because you tagged me, right? What are the two things that they say to these people that will be the result? Thank you for the gift. That will be the result of their behavior. If you don't do what your mommy, daddy, or teachers, or police, or whomever tell you to do, you will end up in one or two places. Type in the comments what they say. Type in the comments what they say. I'll repeat. If you don't do what you're supposed to do, you're going to end up, there we go. Type in the comments. Let's get some more. Type in the comments. Let's get some more. Dead or in jail. Dead or in jail. But what people like this person doesn't take into consideration is the following. If a person feels that their home is jail and they feel that their parents are the prison wardens, why are you telling them they're going to end up in jail when they already live in one? If their mental freedom of expression to be able to learn has been KILLED, if it has been destroyed because they have been exposed to constant, or let me give you the medical definition, chronic trauma, which is continued, repeated exposure and destroying of their self-esteem and their ego. If their mind is dead, what is death? For I submit to you this: if a person is brain dead, if a person is brain dead, what good is the body? So when struggle mentors come into these places and threaten you with death or jail without consideration of where you are and meeting you where you are psychologically, they're not doing you a service. They're doing you a disservice. They're doing you a disservice. And instead of the prison doctor, see, I'm going to tell you as a former corrections officer, I'm going to tell you as a former police officer, decorated too. I'm going to tell you as a former police trainer and a current police trainer, because I still train cops, I still train civilians, I train people in stress inoculated behavior, how to actually do what they need to do under stress, right? Policing is so good that it teaches you how to suppress the behavior. It doesn't teach you how to understand it. Boss lady, you said something that was very good, and that's why I have my notepad so I can capitalize on these points that you're saying. I think we don't have the full story. Hold on. Don't have full story because we don't know the family's history. Oh, come on now. Come on. You about to learn. Tap the screen. Get those likes up. Because there's some people who need to hear this, who need to be in this room. Please. I love you. Would it be too much trouble if you tap the screen to get the likes up? Because the likes help the algorithm and it brings more people into the room. I would appreciate if you done that. Come on now. Okay. Because family history. But where I'm going with family history and where you're going in family history may be two things, or they may be the same. Let's go. Was it Riri? My father raised us like this. My brother ended up in jail 3 times. See, people sit here and say, spare the rod and spoil the child. Spare the rod doesn't mean beat your children. Spare the rod means guide them, right? The rod of a shepherd, guide them. The rod of a shepherd, guide them. Thank you for the glasses. The rod of the shepherd, guide them. That's what that means. Let me go to my notes. Come on now. Come on now. We about to have that conversation. We about to have that conversation. Spare the rod, spoil the child. Come on. Because some people are not even honest about the fact that they actually like to beat their kids because they were beat. Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. The rod of the shepherd is to also understand the people. To understand the people. To understand your sheep. Here we go. Matter of fact, I'll give you one even better. Parents, let's go. We're going to continue with this conversation, but I want to give you a tool. You know what this is called? This is called the accountability toolbox. The accountability toolbox. The accountability toolbox, right? I'm going to give you some resources that you can use to to not only hold yourself accountable, but to teach what accountability is for your children. Now, you don't have to get it this big, right? I got this from Walmart, okay? I got this smaller one from Walmart. This one was like $10. This one was like $6, right? If you want to start small to see if you can build the habit of doing it the right way, here we go. This is a index card box. And I'm going to tell you this, right? This wasn't nothing but $2. This wasn't anything but $6. I'm sorry, this might have been $3 or $4. And this one was like, no, this was $6 and this one was $10. And I'm going to tell you what this is for. Michelle, I do have a podcast. It's called Family Matters with Instructor Mike. Family Matters with Instructor Mike. So the goal of this accountability toolbox is, here we go. You ready for it? I have to make a connection before I get to correction. Why? I'll say it again. I have to make a connection before I get to a correction. Why is this? Because as children, what does this say? Warning, I do dumb things. Right? Warning, I do dumb things. Why? They're doing it because you may not have trained them. Right? Why did he sit there and tell his mom? Why did he sit there and tell his mom, here we go, you parent poorly and to forget Mother's Day? Warning, I have no filter. I have no filter. As a child, I have no filter. I do dumb things. Children do that. Children do that. And so, for you to sit here and think that your child is an adult, your child may do things and act like an adult from time to time, but they're not adults. Have you ever heard the my thoughts are not your thoughts, my ways are not your ways? That is literally children. They don't think like you. They don't think like you. They think in concrete, right? They think in concrete. They don't think in abstract. They don't think in abstract. Okay, so let's go. What is accountability toolbox? Inside this accountability toolbox, if you think about it, one of the things I used to do in the military is I used to be a mechanic, right? And when I first deployed, not deployed, but when I had my first overseas tour, right, in Germany, one of the things I was assigned to was the battalion tool room. The battalion tool room. The battalion tool room. What's the purpose of the battalion tool room? Well, the mechanics in the motor pool, they have their toolbox. But guess what? When they don't have, or when they need tools that can't fit in that toolbox, they have to go to the tool room. And I am accountable for every single tool in that room. If you doubt me, try a change of command ceremony for the company. Try a change of command ceremony for the battalion, right? You have to make sure you're accountable for everything. But what is inherent in that word, accountability? Count. Do I have the skills to count? Do I know what I'm seeing? Do I know what it's used for? Can I give the proper guidance? I have to have knowledge, skills, abilities, and confidence. So that's why I said toolbox, 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 toolbox. Don't get a bag and then call it the toolbox. No, because now you're trying to use a child's imagination. Look at things that are literal toolboxes. They got them in various sizes. Toolbox. Toolbox. But what kind of tools are we going to put in here? Are we going to put Allen wrenches? Are we going to put metric? Are we going to put standard sockets? Are we going to put Phillips screwdrivers? Are we going to put flathead screwdrivers? Are we going to put vice grips? No, not those kind of tools. These are going to be tools that you and your child assist each other in creating. And the purpose of this accountability toolbox is before you try to chastise them on what you think they know, you need to make sure that you taught them. I'll say it again. Before you try to chastise your child on what you think they know, you need to make sure you taught them, right? Let me ask you this question before I continue. Do we assume that children know, or do you actually go back and check to see if they know? I'll ask this question again. Do you assume, and here's this, give yourself grace. Do not shame yourself. I will not allow you as an adult to shame yourself in front of me. You must give yourself grace. Stop saying, I did the best I could. I did the best I could. I did the best I could. Because when you sit here and say, I did the best I could, you slap that child's trauma in the face. Because you may not have done the best you could, but you most certainly did what you knew. You most certainly did what you knew. You most certainly did what you knew. Right? So now it's time to learn more. Okay? Don't slap yourself in the face. Give yourself grace. Don't slap yourself in the face. Give yourself grace. Don't slap yourself in the face. Give yourself grace. Because now it's time to learn. Now it's time to learn. Here we go. So what kind of tools are we going to put in here? All you're going to do is go buy some index cards. Go buy some index cards. That's all you're going to do. Okay? Here we go. This might be in reverse, so you might not be able to see it, but I'm going to go here and go there. 2 primary emotions. Here we go. On the back, love and fear. All other emotions are secondary. Love and fear. All other emotions are secondary. This can be a tool that after you write it down and you begin to teach it and go over it and go over it and go over it. Why? Education must be rigorous, right? Rigorous doesn't mean mean. Look up the definition of rigorous. Come on, let's do it together. Let's do it together. Come on, pull out that phone. Your phone is so smart. Don't sit here and tell me, well, I can't find a definition rigorous. Let's do rigorous. Come on. Rigor, O-U-S. Come on. There we go. Might want to use these fat fingers to spell it right. Good. There we go. Rigorous definition. Extremely thorough, exhaustive, or accurate. It does not mean mean. Rigorous. It is an adjective. Extremely thorough, exhaustive, or accurate. Right? No, most people should already know rigorous. Here we go. Assumption. 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 Right? Here we go. Rigorous does not mean mean. Okay? It does not mean mean. Right? It is extremely thorough, exhaustive, or accurate. Here we go. So now you've got this. That's okay, Luis. I appreciate you. I appreciate you for holding yourself true. I am assuming. And I am going to give you grace. I'm going to give you grace. Okay? Because grace matters, right? Here we go. 2 primary emotions, love and fear. All other emotions are secondary. So if there are 2 primary emotions, love and fear, you have to think, how am I approaching? Am I approaching with love or am I approaching with fear? Okay? The iceberg of behavior. Come on now. All behavior is communication. What do I mean when I say all behavior is communication? How many of you all know or you hear when someone is speaking Spanish? Let's go there. Spanish, right? How many of you are hearing when someone is speaking Spanish? But how many of you don't know what they're saying? Right? You can recognize the language being spoken and still not know what they are saying. Why? Because you may not have the knowledge, skills, abilities, and confidence to be able to not only recognize the language, but be able to engage in that conversation. So just because you hear and recognize the language, right? Just because you hear and recognize the language doesn't mean you can communicate. And what does that do if you're in that environment where you don't speak the language? It creates anxiety. So if it'll create an anxiety within you because all behavior is communication, but just because all behavior is communication, do you have the K-SACs, the knowledge, skills, abilities, and confidence to be able to discern and interpret what you're hearing so that you can respond? Do you assume? You heard what I said. How do you know? How do you know? How do you know they heard what you said? Just because you said it once? Just because you said it with authority? How do you know what's on their mind? How do you know you don't have to repeat it? Education must be rigorous. Education must be relevant. Educators must build relationships before learning happens, and the education must be repeated continuously. It must be repetitiously reinforced, right? So here we go. The iceberg of behavior. Here's tool number 2, right? The iceberg of behavior. Behavior is the tip of the iceberg. It gets bigger below. Underneath behavior is thoughts, feelings, and needs. Thoughts, feelings, and needs. Thoughts, feelings, and needs. Just imagine if you gave your child this tool in their toolbox, not only for you to grab it and hold yourself accountable, but for you to have this as a teaching tool. So you make a connection before correction. When they are acting in a manner that is unacceptable, right? Before we begin to judge the acceptability or the unacceptability of that behavior, let's go to what are they thinking? What are they feeling? Are their needs being met? Maybe the reason they're acting the way they're acting is because a need hasn't been met. Maybe their feelings aren't being acknowledged. Acknowledgement doesn't mean approval. Acknowledgement doesn't mean acceptance. It just means I know why you're behaving this way. This is also good for relationships. I know I can sure use this to relate to my peers. Yes. Here we go. Tool number 3. Education must be what? Rigorous. Education must be what? Relevant. Educators must build relationships before learning happens, and that education must be reinforced repetitively. Imagine having a joint accountability toolbox where the parent and the child can both use this for each other, because sometimes parents, we need reminders too. Here we go. Cooperative problem solving model. Cooperative problem solving model. If you allow me, we can fix everything. That is a mnemonic. What is a mnemonic? A mnemonic is a mental shortcut that helps us remember concepts, right? What is it? Here we go. If you allow me, we can fix everything. If, identify the problem. You, understand the problem. Allow, it's 2 A's, right? Here we go. Analyze the solutions and agree on a solution, right? M, make a plan. F, follow that plan. And E, evaluate the results. What's the we can? Mike, I heard you say we can. It's the cooperative spirit. It's the cooperative spirit. It's the cooperative spirit, right? It's the cooperative spirit, right? We can do this. You can do this. What if we can't make a relationship with over 200 students? I find that as a struggle. Andrea, I am glad that you are here. I am glad that you are here. Let me make sure I am following you. Okay, here we go. Speak words of affirmation into their life. That's how you can reach them. Speak words of affirmation. That's how you can reach them. Sometimes you have to diagnose them. Diagnose them with the behavior you want to see, right? What do I mean by diagnosing them with the behavior you want to see? Good morning, children. How are you? I want you to know that your thoughts matter. I want you to know that your feelings matter. I want you to know that you have every right to have your needs met. For you are children, and sometimes parents don't understand. Here we go. I want you to go ugly on ugly, baby. Here we go. Oh, that's one of the main things that people say when they don't like the behavior of someone. Your behavior is ugly. It's nasty. It's repugnant. So let's go ugly on ugly. Like baby said, let's go baby on baby. Here we go. Let's go ugly on ugly. What does that mean? The U stands for understanding. See, in the problem solving model, in this tool that I just had, that's why I have identify the problem, understand the problem, analyze the solutions, agree on a solution, make a plan, follow that plan, evaluate the results. What's the one thing that gets in the way? Right? What's the one thing that gets in the way of trying to solve the problem? People don't have the time. You said it's freezing? Is it freezing? Let me stop for a minute. Let me stop. Is it freezing? Let me know if it's freezing. If it's freezing, type the number 1. If it's freezing, type the number 1. I want to make sure I'm still able to keep going. I'm good. I'm good. Okay, you said not for you. I'm good. No, no, no. Okay, here we go. Let's talk about understanding. Let's talk about understanding. I'm going to read to you a post that I put on my Facebook page. By the way, my Facebook page is Brown Mike. Brown Mike. BROWNMIKE. Brown Mike. Because I want to read it because I wrote it so good. Here we go. I know you want a person to understand you. Please consider this. How many of you all think understanding is a skill? How many of you all think understanding is a skill? If you think understanding is a skill, type the number 1. If you think understanding is a skill, type the number 1. Right? I got you because I want to see who's paying attention. Right? Understanding is a skill. You have to have other things to just be able to understand. Right? I don't know how many of you all listen to a lot of music. What? That's not my Instagram. That's my Facebook. Right? Too Short Trina. My Facebook is Brown Mike. My Instagram is Yes Mike Said It. Okay? If you tap the link in this bio, you'll get those links that are there. Okay? Tap the link in this bio. Here we go. I'm going to read this to you. I got to wet this whistle. This moment has been brought to you today by Vita Coco. I've been fighting my fat in the kitchen, baby. I've been losing weight, okay? Man. Yes. You're fine, Too Short. Oh, yeah, I was 260. I forgot when the last time I weighed, the time I weighed myself when I was 260. I want to say in April. I haven't touched a gym at all. I'm 246 now. 246 now. So, yeah. Is this the dude who was yelling at the teacher because his kid was in trouble? Yeah, I'm that dude. You're in class. Here we go. I can't do the straight Vita Coco. I got to do the ones. It's got flavor. It's better that way. But here we go. Understanding as a skill. Let's go. I know you want a person to understand you. Please consider this. To understand anything requires knowledge, skills, abilities, and confidence in and of a subject matter area you need a person to understand. It also requires energy. You either have it or you don't. It also requires patience, a skill that comes from gaining the knowledge, skills, abilities, and confidence to know where to be patient and why you need to be patient. And it also requires time. So let's go through it again. To be able to understand requires knowledge, skills, abilities, and confidence of a subject matter area. Once you gain the knowledge, skills, abilities, and confidence of that subject matter area, it also requires energy. Either a person has it or they don't have it. It also requires patience. Sometimes people say patience is a virtue. What does morality have to do with actual ability? What does that mean? Patience is another skill that needs to be taught, right? But patience is not something that you can teach in and of itself without knowing where to be patient, why you need to be patient. It's not enough to just say, pause, wait. Why am I waiting? What am I waiting on? Why am I waiting? What am I waiting on? Patience is a skill. And when you understand the task, the subject matter, you will understand how to apply patience, where to apply patience. See, some people can't apply patience because they don't understand the skill and where patience needs to be applied. Here we go. And it requires time to understand. Time to understand. Time is a luxury. Sometimes people don't have the time to give you their energy and to apply the patience. Sometimes people have it and don't want to give it. Does that make sense? You have to have the time. So, does the person you are explaining yourself to have those things? If they don't have those things, they will not understand your why. Please consider this when explaining yourself. It will help you manage your emotions. I know you want a person to understand you, but they just may not be able to. To become frustrated at them when they don't have the building blocks necessary for understanding makes your frustration irrational. Sometimes people just don't have it in them to understand. And so, how many of you all remember the song, "What I need from you is understanding. How can we communicate if you don't hear what I say?" Right? Okay, here we go. Yeah. What I need from you is understanding. How can we communicate if you don't hear what I say? That song is short-sighted. It's not that I don't hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. I hear that you're speaking Spanish. I just don't know how to speak it back. I don't even know what you're saying. I hear you speaking. I hear the highs and lows. And if I'm a musician, I might be able to tell you the key in which you're talking. But I don't comprehend because I don't know what you're saying. I've never been taught this subject matter area to have the knowledge, skills, abilities, and confidence. Confidence can only come from the practice, and success does not come without failure. If you don't have a cushion for a person's failure, how will they get better in that practice to have the confidence to even be able to have that conversation with you and to support you when you are exhibiting bad behavior? And there are some parents who won't even admit that I don't have the tools. I don't have the tools to help you. And it's like, how embarrassing is that? Where you can sit here and, I don't want to tell my kid I don't have. Why? Could it be the case that your family is always expecting you to have the answers? Could it be the case that society or your culture is unforgiving? Could it be that you may have respectfully a insecurity issue where you don't give yourself grace because you're waiting for other people to give you grace? You see what I'm saying? DJ said it. Yes, I'm trying to teach myself confidence, but sometimes I lack it myself. This is so true. So that's why you've got to give yourself grace. You have to have a healthy relationship with failure. You have to learn that society is unforgiving because society is a fast-moving thing. Everything is so instant. We got to get it right now, to the point where we don't give ourselves the time to learn, the time to be graceful when we make a mistake, that when others put that burden on you, you have the confidence to at least push that off of me. Some people will sit here and say, "No weapon formed against me shall prosper," but you think you're not going to be shot at. You think you're not going to be talked about. You think you're not going to be lied on. Who do you think you are that you are above being lied on? Who do you think you are that you are above being talked about? Who do you think you are that you are above not having that pressure put upon you? The cards that you have in your hand are the cards that you have in your hand, and you're either going to play them or you're going to unnecessarily lose. Notice I said that failure is strategic. Some of those failures we put on ourselves because we don't do the thing of forgiving ourselves. You're so hard on yourself, living up to someone else's expectations instead of your own. What do you expect of yourself? What do you expect of yourself? If you know you are not perfect, should you project professionalism on your child? If you know you are not perfect, should you project? I see your comments, Louise. Should you project professionalism on yourself and on your child? And that was just the you. Now we've got grace, right? Here we go. Understanding. Once you begin to ask your child and even ask yourself, right? What skills don't I have for this particular thing? Now, once I begin to understand that, they may sit there and apologize. Like my children, they'll sit there. Oh, I'm sorry, Dad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You don't have to apologize to me. There's nothing to apologize for. I need to give you grace. Why? You only acted in this manner because you weren't taught. You only acted in this manner because you weren't taught. So now there's learning. Let me teach you. Let me teach you. And then after I teach you, remember, education must be rigorous. Education must be relevant. Educators must build relationships before learning happens. And the education must be reinforced repetitively. It is troubling when I hear parents say, how many times do I have to repeat myself? Education must be reinforced repetitively. How many times do I have to repeat myself? Don't make me tell you that again. Education must be reinforced repetitively. You are a teacher. You have to teach over and over, over and over, over and over. The brain is a wonderful creature, but the brain is still slave to repetition. Why? We are the collection of 5 things: our needs, education, experiences, habits, and motivations. I say again, needs, education, experiences, habits, and motivations. Create within them the habit of being a learner. Yes, too short, Trina. Also, kids are constantly teaching you something. You must be open to learning too. Yes. Yes, here we go. And then, what's the why? Yesterday. After you teach them and you're giving them grace, come on, speak through me. You cannot give them grace and keep reminding them every time they screwed up as a mechanism of punishment that destroys grace. If you're going to give them grace, don't make them feel like shit because of the mistakes that they made. They made them. Come on now. Come on now. Here's my favorite. I like these two together. Here we go. People use. You said, I think it's okay for a child to apologize, which opens the window for dialogue. Okay, but the dialogue, and that's fine if that's what you think. No shame, no judgment. But what are you apologizing for? Right? What are the components of a true come on. What are the components of a true apology? I recognize the harm that I've caused. If they don't know what they've done, how do they recognize the harm that they've caused? They don't know what they've done. They know they've hurt somebody, but sometimes a person doesn't know why they hurt someone. For I submit to you this. If a hurt person hurts another hurt person, what does an educated person do when they hurt someone? They don't even know why they hurt someone. So what are they apologizing about? Some people say remorse and recognize. If they don't know, what are they remorseful for? Are they apologetic because they hurt your feelings? Do they even know why? Do they even know why? Right? Do they even know why? So here we go. Apologetic, right? Here we go. I recognize the hurt that I've caused you. I'm apologizing for that. And I'm developing an action plan. An action plan. An action plan so that I don't do it again. If they don't understand the problem, how are they going to develop a plan? So what are you apologizing for? So I don't need you to apologize. Now it's time for me to teach you and continuously teach you over and over and over again, so that becomes a part of your plan, is the skill you learn. The cushion for strategic failure, because in lessons, there are failure. I don't think y'all understand that. In lessons, there's strategic failure. There are points where failure is set up in the lesson so that you can have something to learn from. Come on now. I don't think some people understand that. There are times where teachers will let you fail to see how you approach that, to see how you embrace that failure. Is there a cushion that you have within you to understand failure is not the end of the world? No doesn't mean no forever. No just means no maybe right now. This no can save you from danger you don't see. Here we go. Let's get to it. People throw around these... Breathe. If you value this conversation, type the number 1, please. Let me know you value this conversation, because I want to get that engagement. Why do I have you all do that? Tell me, I won't remember. Teach me, I will remember. Involve me, I will learn. For in life, when you are not there, I will either win or learn. I will either win or learn. Noonie, first warning, I'm muting you for 5 minutes. Next time you come in and you're like that in my class, I'm going to block you. That's that. Let's continue. I don't play. Here we go. This is so valuable for where I am right now. Yes, let's continue. Adults throw around the word accountability and responsibility like punching bags. Adults, you don't have to believe me. Go look at these social media posts. Go look at these various outlets. You will hear words like, you got to hold yourself accountable. You're responsible. You got to hold yourself accountable. You're responsible. See, people don't want to be held accountable. People don't want to be responsible. That's right. You know it. Accountability. That's my word. That's my word. And they forget that in the middle of accountability is count. That's a skill. It's inherent in the word responsibility that respondability. Skill. Respond ability. Respond with ability. Right? So it's going to be backwards because of how you get it, right? How TikTok is. I can't control that, right? So I'm holding it up and I'll repost this video and hopefully I can invert it and you'll see it right, okay? So this one says assumed responsibility. And what does it say right there? Feels. Feels. F-E-E-L-S, right? And this one says applied responsibility. What does that say? Skills. Skills. Here we go. Assumed responsibility, applied responsibility. There are 2 types of responsibility. What we're going over, for those of y'all who just came in the room, this is the accountability toolbox. The accountability toolbox. And you can put these cards in this. Thank you for the gift. You can put these cards in these small toolboxes too. Why? You need to hold yourself accountable as a parent, and the child needs to hold themselves accountable, but you both need to make sure that you have the skills. And if it's not in this toolbox, you don't get to chastise them or correct them. But what you do get to do is teach them. So once it's in this toolbox, we can assume that it has been taught. Why? They sign, you sign, or they initial and you initial. That this is something you went over the first time. How you correct them after you've made that connection and you taught them may vary depending upon the given situation, but you have to first make sure you've introduced the lesson. If you have not introduced the lesson, you as a parent need to hold yourself accountable that that child behaved the way they did because you did not teach them. See, you don't develop lesson plans. You don't develop curricula. So there's no way you can hold yourself accountable, and you're not really held accountable to anyone, right? Let's talk facts. So you got to hold yourself accountable, right? Your children deserve it. You said if you click the 3 dots in the bottom right and click on mirror video, we will see everything right. Thank you for telling me that. It says mirror your video. Now it says mirroring off. Is this better now for y'all? Is this better? Is this better? Can y'all see it? Y'all can see it? Why did I know this? Why didn't I know this? I'm sorry, y'all. And see, thank you. I appreciate that. See, someone taught me, and here we go. Thank you, Luis. Everybody's learning in the room. Everybody's learning in the room. All right, here we go. Let's go, y'all. Assume now I got to remember which hand. Good. Assume responsibility and applied responsibility. Here we go. Assume responsibility. Here we go. Responsibility you own because either you put yourself in the job or was put in the job. I'll turn it around. Responsibility you own because either, and if you need to snapshot this, you're more than welcome to do so, right? Assumed responsibility. Responsibility you own because either you put yourself in the job or was put in the job. That is assumed responsibility. You applied for it, you got it, or you got put into it, and you don't have a choice to get out of it. That is assumed responsibility. Now, just because you put yourself in the job, or just because you were put in the job, doesn't mean you know how to do it. Parenting is a perfect example of that. How raw can I make this live? Come on now, due to the graphic nature of what you are about to hear, listener discretion is advised. If you want me to make this live raw, respectfully, right? You want me to make it raw, type the number 2 in the comments. Type the number 2 in the comments because I need your permission, right? I want your permission. I want to value your space because you're giving me your time, right? Here we go. Assume responsibility. Feels. Wrong side. Feels. Right? Feels. What they always say, having a baby doesn't make you a father. Here we go. Just because he fucks doesn't mean he fathers. Just because she sucks doesn't mean she mothers. What do they say? Any man can make a baby, but it takes a real man to be a father. What the fuck does that even mean? What does that even mean? I'm going to repeat it again. Any man can make a baby, but it takes a real man to be a... What the fuck does that even mean? What does that mean? I'm going to stop cussing. What does that mean? Here we go. What does that mean? When skills are not specific to gender, are the skills of... Except nursing, I get it. Breast, I get it. Breast, I get it. But are the skills of parenting specific to gender? Are the skills of... Y'all help me out. Are the skills of parenting specific to gender? Family and consumer sciences, home economics, right? Are they specific to gender? Now, there may be some people who could do things better, but are the skills of parenting specific to gender? They both need to be taught, right? So any man can make a baby. But just because a person is an anatomical male doesn't mean they automatically know how to do. So here we have, what did we do? We went over assume responsibility. Let's do a lesson recap. Here we go. Assume responsibility. Responsibility you own because you either put yourself in the job or was put in the job. That's assumed responsibility. Now, let's go to applied responsibility. Applied responsibility. Applied responsibility. My ability to respond to the needs of a job with knowledge, skills, abilities, and confidence. With a loving approach. I had to read that right. Here we go. My ability to respond to the needs of a job with knowledge, skills, abilities, and confidence with a loving approach. With a loving approach. Do y'all get the difference between assumed responsibility and applied responsibility? Do y'all get it? Assume responsibility and applied responsibility. That's another tool you put in the toolbox. So before you talk about your child should be responsible, are they operating in assumed responsibility and applied responsibility? Or are you just assuming they are responsible without making sure they have the ability to respond to the needs of a job with knowledge, skills, abilities, and confidence with a loving approach? With a loving approach. Come on now. Here we go. A lot of times we assume the kids know just because you said it a long time ago. Get somebody like me to ask you the question, where's your lesson plan, and you don't have it. Now you feel salty. But I'm not going to let you beat up on yourself in front of me. Here we go. JQuar. What does that mean? This is an acronym for, here we go. And I appreciate you. I honor you, DJ, for saying, yes, I'm guilty of that. That is the first step in understanding your children, where we might have failed them because we didn't teach them. But don't beat up yourself about that. Don't beat up yourself about that, because if you stay so low, when are you going to rise back up and learn what you need to know so that you can teach the children? Does that make sense? Here we go. JQuar. What does this mean? Those of you who are addressing the whole situation regarding my child and what happened, I'm going to recognize and see your comments, but I'm going to move on. Let's go. Here we go. JQuar. I am a juvenile. I have the right to be quiet. If I choose to talk, anything I say will be used against me in court and in life. I have the right to an attorney and my parents. Please respect my rights and call my parents. Juveniles need to know this. Come on now. Another tool. And with every tool, we are going to put that in our accountability toolbox. Accountability toolbox. So these are the tools. This is the joint accountability toolbox. Name change, joint accountability toolbox. Joint accountability toolbox. So we're going to put our joint accountability tools in our joint accountability toolbox. Okay? And the theory behind this is I cannot hold my child accountable if I did not teach them. This is the joint accountability toolbox. I don't want to lock it because I'm going to put more in here. Okay? Here we go. What's the next tool? Posture before presentation. Posture before presentation. Posture is how you approach something, a particular way of dealing with or considering something. Presentation, the giving and manner in which something is given. Posture before presentation. Now, let's combine two tools, because there are times where you will have the socket, but you need the wrench. Come on now, let's go to a mechanic. There are times where you have the socket, which is one tool, but you need the wrench. So if we look at two primary emotions and we look at posture before presentation, what are the two primary emotions? Right? Let's put them in the comments. No shame, no judgment. Just answer. What are the two primary emotions? What are the two primary emotions? Come on now. I want to see them in the comments, y'all. I appreciate you. What are the two primary emotions? You said anxiety. Okay. Okay. Mad and sad. Okay. Anger. Here we go. Love and fear. Love and fear. Thank you, Dimples. Love and fear. Those are two primary emotions. If you go to Maslow's hierarchy of needs, here we go. Physiological needs, safety needs, love and belonging, esteem, and self-actualization, right? Physiological, right? Safety needs, love and belonging, esteem, and self-actualization. So two primary emotions, love and fear. So what's my posture before I present to my child? Is it postured from a position of love? Is it postured from a position of fear? Come on now. Come on now. You got to go in this toolbox. Grab those tools. Two primary emotions, love and fear. Right? Here we go. So we're going to take this tool. Quiet sailor. What's going on, sir? Here we go. Posture before presentation. We're going to put this in our joint accountability toolbox. Yes, you have to watch if you're talking at or talking with your child. Here we go. What's up, Frank? Here we go. Tell me, I won't remember. Teach me, I will remember. Involve me, I will learn. You can use these tools, flashcards, to help your kids remember these concepts. You got to remember, your son is not your son. Your son is someone's future husband, someone's future father. Your daughter is not your daughter alone. Your daughter is someone's future mother, someone's future wife. You have to cultivate the desire to be an educator within, and it starts for the first 3 years. You said, can I show this? Here we go. Tell me, I won't remember. It's on the back. Teach me, I will remember. Involve me, I will learn. There we go. There we go. And here's the back. Right? And the purpose is to, you don't want to put all the stuff on the front. You know how flashcards work, right? Just put this tool in our joint accountability toolbox. Here we go. Here's the next tool. This comes before comprehension. And this is a big one. This comes before comprehension. Here we go. Exposure. Exposure comes before comprehension. This comes before comprehension. Exposure. Why does exposure come before comprehension? Because the first 3 years of a child's life is very good for their psychological development. So when you sit here and you don't read to your child, you sit here and you don't speak positive diagnoses into your child, just because they can't verbally communicate the way you understand doesn't mean the brain isn't learning. The brain is very new. The brain is taking in everything that it sees. Exposure comes before comprehension. Expose them to the change you want to see. Expose them to the things you want them to learn. Expose them. You are planting those seeds early on before they can ever regurgitate the word mama, dad. Is really the sound. They're not saying mama. They're just repeating what they've heard. Mama, dad. They're forming the words. But we think mama, he called me first. No, they're forming those words, right? Don't make something what it's not. Just take it for what it is. Here we go. You are the problem. You are the problem. How many of you all have been told that in your life? Do me a favor, if you value this conversation, tap that screen, get those likes up in here. Here we go. You are the problem. You are the problem. Are you the problem? No, you are not. No, Fourth Fisher, you're not the problem. You're not the problem. You are not the problem. That's where we go. Here we go. I am not the problem. The problem is the problem. Behavior is the symptom of the problem. You have to empower your child with the countermeasure that they will need when a person launches that missile to try to destroy your self-esteem. You have to put within your children the flair that they will need to deflect that missile and go someplace else. Here we go. I am not the problem. The problem is the problem. Behavior is the symptom of the problem. I am not the problem. The problem is the problem. Behavior is the symptom of that problem. I am not the problem. The problem is the problem. The behavior is the symptom of that problem. And come on now, let's put another tool together. Let's put another tool together. Here we go. If behavior is the symptom of the problem, then let's put another tool together. Here we go. The iceberg of behavior. Behavior is the tip of the iceberg. It gets bigger below. Underneath behavior is thoughts, feelings, and needs. What are you thinking? What's on your mind? How are you feeling? What are your needs? Are you hungry? Are you sleepy? Are you tired? Are you sick? Do you have anxiety? Do you want to talk? You want to tell me about your day? Okay, you need space. You don't want to talk? That's okay, but just know your feelings are safe here. Come to me when you are ready. No shame, no judgment. You can't have a wrong answer with me, for when the world will not give you grace, I will give you grace. For when the world doesn't have the time for your failures, I have time for your failures. For when the world won't give you a chance, you have chances with me. You are the aircraft. I am your carrier. There is a place for you to rest. We all have attachment needs. We all have security needs. John Bowlby's attachment theory. Are you their secure base? Are you their secure base? Are you their secure base? You said, hold him up? All right, I'm going to hold him up again. Here we go. These are the back. I am not the problem. The problem is the problem. Behavior is the symptom of the problem. Behavior is the tip of the iceberg. Underneath behavior is thoughts, feelings, and needs. These are the two tools that we just put together. The two tools that we just put together. And see, some of you all, respectfully, you want your child to comprehend these things. But I'm going to tell you something about learning. I'm going to tell you something about learning. And these are the front of the cards, right? Exposure comes before comprehension. Exposure comes before comprehension. Your job as a parent, remember I said those 5 things: needs, education, experiences, habits, and motivations. Needs, education, experiences, habits, and motivations. You may not be able to always give your children. Here we go. Boss Lady Hassan, you have to learn the difference between cuddling bad behavior and teaching right or wrong. Are you talking about me? Or are you talking about you? Don't project your issues on me. I know the difference between coddling bad behavior and teaching right or wrong. But here's this. Ooh, that's why I love it. I hope you're a teacher, because you're one of those teachers that sit here and expect all children, here we go, all children to sit here and not have bad habits. They got to have bad habits before they have good ones, because you don't know if you taught them everything. Okay, I get it. You said, no, there are parents that do that. Okay, my apologies. I assumed, I apologize. I apologize. But there are parents who do that. Why? Why do those parents do that? Because their parents coddled their bad habits. Does that make this? Here we go. Exposure comes before comprehension. Your job as a parent, remember, needs, education, experiences, habits, motivations. Needs, education, experiences. You can't give them every experience. You can't. You can only give them some experiences, right? The education. This is what you're responsible for. The education and limited experiences. They're going to have to create their own experiences. Experiences are the icing of the cake for education, because experiences teach you ambiguity. Oh, experiences teach you variability. Oh, experience teaches you that just because you have the green at an intersection and just because that person has a red, green doesn't mean go without caution. Green doesn't mean go without caution. Green in the book means go. Red in the book means stop. But sometimes you may have to push past the stop for your safety. Sometimes you have to still look left and right before you push through the go, through the green, right? Sometimes it's like that. And that's experience. Education is black and white. Experience is gray. Come on now. Education is black and white. Experience is the gray area. It's the ambiguities of life, the variabilities of life. And you can't give that to them all the time. So if you don't provide a cushion for their failure, who do they run to? 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 What is this? Right? I got it like this for a reason. Here we go. How do you know your child is able to do? Often tried, never denied, and willing to be tried again. Are you a parent who is often tried, never denied, and willing to be tried again? I am your parent. Don't you test me. Then how do you know if you're good at what you do? Your children are supposed to test your gangster. And that doesn't mean you have an ego. When they do it, what do? Rational detachment. See, some people don't understand that I teach nonviolent crisis intervention too. Rational detachment. What does that mean? Pull yourself back. Breathe. Breathe. Breathing. Muscles without oxygen fatigue faster. So what do I need to do? I need to put oxygen back into my brain so that I can stay within the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain where logic and reasoning resides. I must not allow myself to go to the amygdala where fight, flight, freeze, and emotions reside. I must not allow my ego to cause me to defend myself where I begin to displace anger negatively. I cannot do that. You must stay in your rational mind. Often tried, never denied, and willing to be tried again. Your children will try you. That's how you know you're good at what you do. Rational detachment. Sit back and breathe. Recognize that this is a test. Say to yourself when things get frustrating, okay, this is an exam. It's test day. I'm going to pass this test. I'm going to pass this test. Whew. Kids, I understand. Would it be too much trouble if we just had a conversation? Come on now, it's test time. It's test time. It's test time. Come on now. Test time. Here we go. USSB. Under stress, simplicity is best. The more simple you keep these tactics, they will remember it better. Why? Under stress, simplicity is best. The more you make these tools simple for them to use under stress, when the stress of life comes, they'll be able to handle it. Here we go. DC5CD. 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 Here we go. Don't create conflict. Creating comprehension of your communication, create distance. Don't create conflict, creating comprehension of your communication. That's where the 5 comes from. These are the 5 right here. Don't create conflict, creating comprehension of your communication, create distance. This is a great tool for adults and for children. Why? Some people do not have the tools and tactics. Some people do not have the building blocks. Some people do not have the building. You know what? You just gave me an idea. I'm going to put these. Would you all, first of all, let me ask you this question before I continue to explain this. What do y'all think about the accountability toolbox? Do you think the joint accountability toolbox is a good idea or is it a bad idea? Do you think it's a good idea or it's a bad idea? Do you think it's a... Here we go. I will put the live up on my YouTube page. My YouTube page is Dad, I Wish I Knew. Dad, I Wish I Knew. Dad, I Wish I Knew. I'm going to put the whole live. I'll download it and I'll put the whole live on this page so you can play it back. Dad, I Wish I Knew. Dad, I Wish I Knew. That's the YouTube page. Dad, I Wish I Knew on YouTube. Please subscribe. Please subscribe. You said you're not my dad. No, I'm not your dad, of course. Dad, I Wish I Knew. Okay, that's the YouTube page. Please go there, subscribe. Please go there, subscribe. I will put this live up there. I promise I will. Okay, here we go. Don't create conflict, creating comprehension of your communication. Create distance, right? Here we go. Sometimes people need to have the building blocks. What did we talk about for understanding? Remember I told you about the building blocks of understanding? The building blocks of understanding. And if a person doesn't have any of those blocks that are there, you need to be smart enough to recognize when this person doesn't have the building blocks. So the conversation that you want to have with them is going to be a hard conversation to have with them. Because how many of you all have ever tried to explain yourself, and in you trying to explain yourself, you just created conflict? In you trying to explain yourself, you just created conflict. How many of you have experienced that? Hey, let me call you right back, okay? Oh.
You said what?
Let me call you right back.
So why you call me?
I just want to let you know I saw your call. I wanted to acknowledge that you called. Okay, I'll call you back. All right, you see how that works? Peoples? Yeah. So how many of you all, you have tried to explain something, and in you explaining something, you created conflict unknowingly? Like this person was angry, but now they're really angry because they definitely don't understand. You see what I'm saying? So if that's the case, you got to understand, don't create conflict. Thank you for the gift. Don't create conflict, creating comprehension of your communication. Create distance. Sometimes that's the best thing. You said, and accountability you just took by simply giving a call back. Absolutely. Right. Because I wanted to recognize my friend called. Okay. So you said, yes, all my kids are different. So I handle different situations differently with each of them. Yes, that's a thing. Right. But the joint accountability toolbox is an amazing tool for you to hold yourself accountable for what you teach. If it's not in here, I can't chastise you on it. I can't even correct you on it because I didn't give you the thing that needs to be corrected. So let me hold myself accountable. Let me teach you so we can put this in the joint accountability toolbox. And maybe, just maybe, the consequence of your behavior is take this card, write 100 lines. Take this card, write 100 lines. Take this card, write 100 lines. The joint accountability toolbox. The joint accountability toolbox works. If it's not in this box, I did not teach it. If I did not teach it, I must teach you. I must make a connection before I give correction. I must make sure you understand, right? And I must give you grace for your behavior. I must tell you that your behavior is not acceptable, but why it's not acceptable, to whom it's not acceptable. Why it's not acceptable, to whom it's not acceptable. I must teach you time, place, and manner restrictions. That there are some places that you can do certain things in, and there are some places you can't. Some people will accept it. Some people don't accept it. Some people do accept it. Some people don't accept it. If it's not in this toolbox, it did not happen. And so now, if you mess up, right, and it is in this toolbox, now I need to, here we go. Education must be rigorous. Education must be relevant. Educators must build relationships before learning happens, and the education must be reinforced repetitively. So how do we reinforce education repetitively? Maybe I'm going to go on ahead and take this card, and I'm going to tell you, right, depending upon your grade level and where you are, go take this card and give me a 5-page single-spaced, 5-page single-spaced paper with references. Maybe I want you to give me a 10-page paper, double-spaced with references, APA style, on the ways that conflict are created because of miscommunication and why you should create distance. If you create scholars out of your children and have them write scholarly papers and get some of your friends who are good at English, at grading papers, subject matter expert, if you get them to assist you, you're building a village. You're building a village. You don't have to beat your child, because after you hit them, guess what you still have to do? You still have to teach them. Like after, but here we go. Now you want to teach them, but they're not in the mindset to learn. Because if you look at Erik Erikson's psychosocial developmental theory, right, they're still stuck at the trust versus mistrust stage. So your intentions in what you're teaching them may be good, but they don't trust you. They don't like you. Some of you say, I'm not here to be my child's friend. I'm here to be their parent. Just tell me do you know how to be a friend? Right? Here's another thing that I put on my page. Ooh, here we go. Come on. Here we go. It wasn't on my page. It was on somebody else's page. I responded to a comment of theirs. Did I screenshot that? Come on, I got to get it. Oh, it was so good. It was so good. Okay, matter of fact, I know where his page is. Hold on, indulge me for a minute. Just give me a minute. Okay, here. Nope, not James Hat. That's crazy. I just had it a minute ago. Got it. Okay, good. Hold on 1 minute, y'all. Hold on. Hold up for a minute. Because I thought I had this. Oh, come on. All right, hold on. It was about being your child's friend. I'm sorry. I had a post that I put on somebody else's page, and I don't know if it's still up there. Hey, you okay? Okay. Yeah, I'm live right now. Let me call you back. Yeah, I'll call you back. Okay. All right, bye. Yeah. Notice, what did I ask? Are you okay? Because sometimes it could be an emergency call. Right? Sometimes it could be an emergency call. I really want to find this because it is important. It is so important. Oh, come on. I can't believe I can't find it. Here's what I can't believe. I can't believe I didn't capture that comment, because that comment was so good. That comment was so good. Hold on, y'all. I'm sorry. I really want this because it's about being your child's friend. It's about being your child's friend. And oh, there we go. Yes, 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 yes. Oh, here we go. Okay, so here it is. People need to stop trying to be their child's friend and start being their actual parent. The world would definitely be a much better place. And this is what I said. I said the reason our children pick friends who behave badly is because they have not had better examples of parents as friends. A true friend is not a passive or permissive friend. A true friend will guide you when you are wrong and do it from a loving approach. A true friend understands that discipline means to teach responsibility by ensuring their friend has the knowledge, skills, abilities, and confidence to respond to the needs of a given situation with ability. A true friend knows that there are two primary emotions, love and fear. A true friend doesn't have to beat you to get you to learn. A true friend understands how to influence you by teaching you what you need to know and reinforcing it repetitively. A true friend understands that when you make a mistake, you deserve grace in your mistakes and understanding when you were not taught. A true friend will hold themselves accountable for what they did not teach their friend, not always want to be right and make the friend feel bad for their mistakes. A true friend understands that feelings are what they are and that you have a right to have them. They are neither right nor wrong. They are your feelings. A true friend understands that while you do have the right to your feelings, you do not have the right to act how you feel or act on how you feel. A true friend will teach you time, place, and manner restrictions. A true friend understands that consequences are just the results of actions and will not weaponize consequences against you. A true friend will set boundaries while respecting the feelings of their friends. A reason a parent can't be their child's friend is because they don't know how to be a friend in the first place. This is perhaps why criminals, gang members who are in need of love themselves, and other people with bad intentions understand how to get our kids. They are their friend first. If you can convince the mind, you own the body. Learn how to be a better friend so you can be your child's friend before the streets become your child's friend and the morgue buries your child friendly. Because funeral home directors are very friendly. Morticians are very friendly. Very friendly. Very. So you're either going to be your child's friend and teach them what they need to know, or somebody else with bad intentions will be their what? Friend. Do what you want. Just a suggestion. Right? All right, here we go. You can go ahead and hit that guest button if you want to come up and talk. I got plenty more tools, but I may not have. Oh, no, we got to get to this. Come on, hit that guest button if you want to come up and talk. Hit that guest button if you want to come up and talk. You're more than welcome, more than welcome, more than welcome. Here we go. Here we go. People in trauma are good-intentioned people who were not trained in these 5 skill areas. People in trauma are good-intentioned people who were not trained in these 5 skill areas. Security, patience, loyalty, communication, and follow-through. Is a person in trauma secure? Is a person in trauma patient? Is a person in trauma loyal? Is a person in trauma a good communicator? And is a person in trauma, do they have good follow-through? I'll say it again. People in trauma are good-intentioned people who were not trained in these 5 skill areas. Right? These 5 skill areas. Security, patience, loyalty, communication, and follow-through. AGB92. Yes, I do have a podcast. It's called Family Matters with Instructor Mike. Right? A person in trauma. So here we go. Here we go. What are some of the questions we ask in relationships? Why aren't you loyal? Why aren't you faithful to me? Trauma. Why are you so impatient frequently? Trauma. Why are you a person that has insecurity issues? Trauma. I'm trying to talk to you, but you don't communicate well. Trauma. You make promises, but you never keep them. Trauma. 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 Right? I remember somebody was on the comments earlier and they said, we don't have the full story because of the family history. Let's go there. Has anybody in his family or her family made this person feel secure? If security or the lack of security is in the family DNA, this person also probably has insecurities. And they don't have the tools to secure them. Chronic exposure to trauma. If this person is so impatient, if you go back to the family history, who was ever patient with them when they were growing up? Chronic trauma. This person doesn't have a loyalty bone in their body. Who has shown them loyalty and what that looks like? Who has taught them what loyalty looks like? Who has been loyal to them in their childhood? Trauma. This person doesn't know how to communicate. They're not an active listener. Has anybody in their family listened to them? Actively listened. Resolved and responded to their needs. If nobody in their family has responded to their needs, they don't know how to respond to the needs of others. If no one has communicated with them and shown them that their voice matters, they don't know how to recognize the voice of others. They don't know what that is like. And if they come from a family of broken promises, they don't know how to keep the ones they make to you. For everyone says they can do it until it's time to do it. I'm just saying. Let's put this in our joint accountability toolbox. All behavior is communication. Let's put this in our joint accountability toolbox. This is about to be a good one. Come on, y'all. Come on. Let me wet the whistle. Let me wet this whistle. This one's going to be a good one. And we kind of talked about it already, but I'm going to give you the card. Take a snapshot of this. Take a snapshot of this. When you take a snapshot of this, go ahead and type in the comments, got it. I want to see some got it's. There you go. Got it. What I need from you is understanding. So what is needed to understand? Here we go. Bow. Here we go. Let's start from this side. The lesson. The lesson. The lesson. Here we go. What is the subject matter area? Right? What is the subject matter area? Then there's the failure, the strategic failure, strat fail. Right? What's your strat fail? Because in lessons, failure is built in the lesson. Recovery. Once I recover my student and provide them the comfort to fail. Come on now, the comfort to fail. Failure is not an option. Yeah, once you learn. On certain missions, yes, failure is not an option. But you train. So that when you do it, the likelihood for failure is less likely. Come on now. Failure. Then recovery. Once I recover them, I teach them how to recover themselves. Then the next one is Achievement. Yay. 2 plus 2 is 4. Here we go. Let me give you achievement. Yay. 2 plus 2 is 4. Yay. Yay. Okay, good. Now what do we have to teach them after that? Humility. 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 Why do I teach that? 2 plus 2 is 4. Yay. Now I know trigonometry. Not yet. Not yet. This is a part of it. But sometimes we can celebrate too soon too much. Come on now. Sometimes we can celebrate too soon too much. Sometimes we can celebrate too soon too much when there's more work to be done. There is a level of praise and a timing in that praise because there's more work to be done. Should I even praise now because we got more to do? What if we on a mission? Tango, pop. Yeah, battle's won. Wait a minute, you don't see all them? We got more to do. You can celebrate too soon. You're not, you know what I'm saying? You ahead in the race. You running on the race. Oh my God, you running on the race. What? You running on the race. Here we go, run on the race. And then you ahead. It's like, yeah, we won. And what are you doing? You're getting too cocky and too overconfident. Getting too cocky and too overconfident. And then next thing you know, something happens. Person behind you catches up. They gain that second burst of energy. They catch up and surpass you. You celebrated too soon. Okay? Humility. Stay humble. We got more to learn. Okay? Then you need the knowledge, skill, ability, and confidence assessment to make sure you have mastered what you have learned. Lesson, knowledge, skill, ability, and confidence assessment. But then when you start to teach others, now we get to the lesson, train the trainer. Lesson, train the trainer. Why? Just because you know how to do something doesn't mean you know how to teach it. How do people learn? What are the conditions under which they learn best for this particular type of lesson? Does that make sense? And then once you go through your lesson, train the trainer, these things you need to have as well. Energy. Either you have it or you don't. Patience. You develop the patience in this after going through all of this, because you need to know how to be patient and where to be patient in this lesson. And then this is the most critical out of all of that. You can have everything else locked down solid. But if you don't have time to teach, or if you have the time to teach, but you don't want to give that time to teach, right? You got to have that time. Does this make sense? Does that make sense? Am I wrong? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. You all help me. Let's put this in our joint accountability toolbox. Joint accountability toolbox. Joint accountability toolbox. Here's another tool. Skills over feels. Skills over feels. Skills over feels. What does this mean? Feelings matter. Skills matter. Feeling feels. Skills seal the deal. Skills help you do while you are feeling your way through. Come on now, here we go. Feelings matter. Skills matter. Feelings feel. Skills seal the deal. Skills help you do while you are feeling your way through. Your feelings do matter, but skills matter too. Feelings, yeah, you feel what you feel, but skills are what help you seal that deal. Skills help you do while you are feeling your way through. Skills, 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 skills. Skills, skills, skills. Skills over feels. Here we go. There's a lot of tools in here. Ooh, I'm trying to find. Here's another one. Ooh, I gotta get this. Yes. There's so many good tools in here. So many good tools in here. Ooh. I'm gonna go to this one right here. I'm gonna go to this one here because this is a good one right here. This is a good one right here. Hey, Jules, what's going on? This is a good one right here. Y'all want me to keep going? Y'all tell me y'all want me to keep going. I'm gonna keep going. I see the numbers have been consistent. So y'all tell me y'all want me to keep going. I'm gonna keep going. Tell me you want me to keep going. I'm gonna keep going. Chrissy said yes. Okay. This is gonna be a good one. Let's keep going. My kids are listening. Oh yeah, Travis, we on here. Fort Fisher, you still here? Jules, yes. Okay, let's go. Morgan said go. Let's go, Father. Ronnie. All right, here we go. How many times have you heard somebody sit here and say, that's common sense? I don't know how you would miss this. That's common sense. That's common sense. That's common sense. I don't know how you wouldn't understand that. That's common sense. That is common sense. If you heard that, type the number 1 in the comments. If you heard that, type the number 1 in the comments. Why do I keep repeating it? Because education must be rigorous. Education must be relevant. Educators must build relationships before learning happens, but education must be reinforced repetitively. That's why I keep repeating over and over again. So let's define what common sense is. This is a 3-part. What is common sense? What is common sense? Now, the way that I wrote this, I wrote it like this. So I got to finish it out because I know some of y'all are writing stuff out. So give me 1 minute. Common sense. Good sense and sound judgment in practical matters. Good sense and sound judgment in practical matters. That's what common sense is. Good sense and sound judgment in practical matters. That's what common sense is. Good sense and sound judgment in practical matters. That's part 1. Common sense. Good sense, sound judgment in practical matters. Part 2. What is practical? Thank you, Crystal. What is practical? What is practical? Because remember, the definition of common sense is good sense and sound judgment in, what's that word? Practical matters. What is practical? Of or concerned with actual doing rather than theory or ideas. Of or concerned with actual doing rather than theory or ideas. Of or concerned with actual doing rather than theory or ideas. That is the definition of practical. Part 3, last. In understanding, good morning, Sissy Mom Life. In understanding, if one, a person, has common sense, what question should you ask? What question should you ask when trying to determine if someone has common sense regarding this thing? Have you practiced or performed the theory? Have you practiced or performed the theory? Have you practiced or performed the theory. If it's just a theory and they haven't done it, then no, they do not have common sense. And you should not shame them. Now it's time to teach them. Let's put this in our joint accountability toolbox. Let's put this in our joint accountability toolbox. Ooh, this is gonna work. Here we go. Choices have what? Choices have what? Motivations. All choices have motivations. Right? Here we go. So when a person behaves badly, what was the motivation? What is the definition of motivation? The biological, emotional, social, and cognitive force that activates behavior. Body, thoughts, societal pressures, and thoughts as well. Cognitive, the processing of those thoughts. What are the biological, emotional, social, and cognitive forces that activate the behavior? Thoughts, needs, feelings. Thoughts, needs, feelings. Thank you for that, Jules. This is our joint accountability toolbox for those of you all just coming in. We cannot correct our children until we make a connection with them. Connection before correction. Connection before correction. We cannot correct them if we have not taught them. And this joint accountability toolbox is an accountability toolbox for both the parent and child, that we cannot correct them until we make a connection with them. If it is not in here, we have to ask ourselves if we taught it. What are we holding them accountable for if we didn't teach them how to count? Teaching common sense that doesn't make sense means it wasn't common to begin with. Okay. The basic definition of value. The basic definition of value. You can teach someone common sense. You absolutely can teach someone common sense. Yes, you can. I disagree. You said you cannot teach someone common sense. That's because you're not teaching. You're not a teacher. First person I had to block in the live. He said, bro, you said a whole lot of nothing. So let me go on ahead and see you to somebody else who can teach. You can teach. Thank you. But you can teach how to deal with the matters that common sense will apply to. Do you want me to put the definition of common sense up there again? You see what I'm saying? Your statement does not fly with the reality. You said you cannot teach. Matter of fact, let me not lecture. Let me go back to the joint accountability toolbox. Because you think we cannot teach common sense. What is common sense? What is common sense? Good sense and sound judgment in practical matters. Good sense and sound judgment in practical matters. What is practical? Of or concerning with the actual doing of things than just theory or ideas. In understanding if a person has common sense, what questions should you ask? Have you practiced or performed the theory? If they haven't practiced or performed the theory, do they have common sense? See, it's easy to sit there and say, well, you can't teach common sense. You can. You actually can. You actually can. You said, I get what you're saying, but it's not common sense if you have to teach it. That defeats the whole purpose. Okay, fine. I'm not going to debate with you. Sure. Henry Ford said it best. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. So I'm not going to debate with you. I'm not going to debate. I tend to think you can. You said you can't. Fine, sure. Trust me. Here's this. There is somebody who is always willing to make a check or collect money off of what you and your children don't know. There's always somebody willing to be paid because your child is a victim. Your child is a victim of your theories. Your child is a victim that you can't teach common sense. So why try? Why try? Why even try? You just brought them in the world and you go to work and you make your money. Why even try? Why try? Why come up with joint accountability toolboxes? Why come up with tools? Why try? Why try? You say you cannot teach common sense. It comes from within. Yes, you can teach common sense. Some get it, some don't. Some will, some won't. So what? Let's go. Here we go. The basic definition of value. The basic definition of value. The worth, importance, or usefulness of something. It's a noun. The worth. Go hug your kids' TikToks for fun. 16. Go hug your kids. I'm going to block you so you can go spend time with your kids. Go spend time with your kids. Okay? Go spend time with your kids. Yeah, that's what I said. Go spend time with your kids. You know what I'm saying? You know how you got to escort somebody out the classroom so they can go on ahead and just go do something positive. If this place is a bad space for you, why are you triggering yourself? Just go do something positive. Just get out of here. Okay? It's all good. Here we go. What is sentimental value? We're going to get someplace with this. Here we go. We talked about value. Value is a noun. The worth or importance or usefulness of something, right? So let's get to what is sentimental value. What is sentimental value? What it's subjective, feel something is worth. What I feel something is worth. What I feel something is worth. Travis, thank you. I appreciate that. Right? That's sentimental value. What's the actual value? Actual value. What something is actually worth. That's objective. Right? Value. So here we go. When someone does something, what is the ASV? Here we go. When someone does something, what is the ASV? The ASV. What does ASV mean? What is the action? What is the support? And what is the value of that support? I hope you do too, Too Short, Trina. See ya. Right? Here we go. What is the action? What happened? What is the support? Who supports that action? What is the value of that support? What's the value of the support for that action? Is that support sentimental? What actual value does it have? Right? I'll give you case in point. Case in point, right? You sit here and you get it, and you'll see this in school when it comes down to fighting, right? You get some parents who will sit here and say, if those children are messing with you, you tell the teacher. If the teacher doesn't do anything, I appreciate that, Travis. I'm about to end this anyway in a little bit, and I'll put it on my page. If you want to watch this full video, go over to Dad, I Wish I Knew. Dad, I wish I knew. Thank you, Lola. Thank you. Dad, I wish I knew. Here we go. If that teacher doesn't listen to you and the child keeps hitting you, you have my permission to knock them out. That's what some parents will say. Notice, remember I said all behavior is communication, and bullying is something that no one likes. But if you look at our movies, right, whoever reminds the bad person that they are lovable too. Whoever reminds the bad behaving bully, who by the way was a victim first. We're speaking too much truth here. That bully didn't just become a bully. That bully was created. For if it takes a village to raise a child, and the child not embraced by the village will burn it to feel its warmth. That bully was denied love and attention. So instead of sitting here and teaching your child to be the very change that they want to see, you're teaching your child to use violence against someone who may be more violent and may be more prepared than them. So you got the action of that child fighting, and you got the support of an uneducated community who lives in violence. But what's the value of that support? Can you go around and do that to everyone? No, because there is someone who is bigger and badder than your child who will be an affiliate marketer for the funeral home. They will put your child in the grave. They will put your child in the grave. So is that value of that support, is it sentimental or is it actual? It holds no actual value. It's just sentimental to you. It's what makes you feel good. It's what makes you feel good. So when you teach them, yeah, I may want to knock them out, but how about I just say words of affirmation? How about I just say nice things? And I'm going to tell you what, I teach active shooting response to teachers. Do you know, if you study the history of active school shooters, do you know that most likely all of these active school shooters were less likely to shoot someone who was always nice to them? Always nice to them. They are less likely to do violence to someone who heard their voice, who listened to them, who gave them, what are the 5 love languages? 5 love languages, right? Physical touch, right? Words of affirmation. One of my mentees are up in here. What's going on? He said, I remember you from X-Team. What's going on, sir? One of my mentees are in here, right? Physical touch, words of affirmation, gifts, quality time, and acts of service. What's up, Caesar? What's going on, buddy? What's up, Caesar? Yes, it costs nothing to be nice. Nothing to be nice. Nothing to sit here and say a positive word to that person. You know, I like those shoes you got on. They look nice. Right? They look nice. Billy, I don't expect you to understand, and I'm not about to sit here and get into an argument over something you don't understand. I'm not going to do that. Dad, I wish I knew. Yes, Dad, I wish I knew is where I'm going to put this video. Dad, I wish I... Yeah. Thank you, Michelle. I'm just saying it costs nothing to be nice. Find something nice to say, right? That's something nice. Finding something nice to say could be the thing that may save your life. Could be the thing that may save your life. That's all. You said be kind or be quiet. Yes. One of the 5 levels in Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? Physiological, safety, love and belonging, esteem and self-actualization. Physiological, safety, love and belonging, esteem and self-actualization. These are the needs that we need to have. Let's put this in our joint accountability toolbox. The central theme of attachment theory. The central theme of attachment theory. Primary caregivers who are available and responsive to an infant's needs allow the child to develop a sense of security, form a secure bond for the child to explore the world. The central theme of attachment theory, primary caregivers who are available and responsive to an infant's needs allow the child to develop a sense of security, form a secure base for the child to explore the world. Because when they explore that world and they learn certain things, they can come back to you. What are the four theories, the four stages in John Bowlby's attachment theory? Right? Proximity maintenance, closeness, boundaries, safe haven, secure base, and separation distress. When you always pushing the children away, separation distress, it creates a level of insecurity. Let's put this in our joint accountability toolbox. Thank you, Jules. Children who maintain proximity to an attachment figure. Here we go. Here we go. Were more likely to receive comfort and protection and more likely to survive in adulthood. Come on, man. I'm only here to help you. I'm only here to help me. I'm here to help us. Come on now. That's why I see the negative comments, but I ain't giving it no energy. Because there are people who are listening. I've been watching those numbers of who's been watching. It's been a steady following. Let's go. If you like this, tap the likes. Let's get some more people in here. Here we go. Please, if you would be so kind. What are Erik Erikson's 8 stages of psychosocial development? Psychosocial development. And here, I wrote it where it's easy to see. It's nice. Here we go. The red is trust. What's the black part? Mistrust. That's from ages 0 to 1.5. Autonomy. You talk about body autonomy. Here we go. Versus shame and doubt from 1.5 to 3. Here we go. How do you give a 1 to 3-year-old autonomy? Let them make mistakes. They're going to do that. They're a kid. Come on. Initiative versus guilt, 3 to 5. Industry versus inferiority, 6 to 11. Identity versus confusion, from 12 to 18 years of age. From 18 to 40, that's big. 18 to 40. Intimacy versus isolation. 40 to 65, generativity versus stagnation. 65 to that D word, integrity versus despair. Where are you in this psychosocial stage of development? Here we go. Dark skinder. Into me see. So when you get people, come on now, we about to go down that aisle of relationships. When you get into a relationship, you cannot be selfish. You got to be about other people. Let me tell you, the stages of loving from 0 to 4 is also about the self. So when you don't allow your child, who is naturally selfish, to practice being selfish, they don't get the chance to understand that I must be selfish before I am selfless. And then guess what? From that stage, you go right back into being selfish all over again from 18 to 40. Into me, see. Into me, see. Intimacy. It's about you. So when someone tries to convince you that it is not about you, they are getting you to sacrifice yourself for their own pleasure. Now, should you be only selfish? No. Should you be only selfish? No. But anytime someone wants you to sacrifice what you do for yourself is because they want to rob you of the things that you have so they can have. Because a person is willing to sell you the car that you are willing to drive. You must always make sure your love tank is filled first so you can have the overflow to give to others. Come on now. Trust versus mistrust. I'm having a hard time trusting people. Are you still stuck at the age of trust versus mistrust? I don't have a lot of autonomy to do what I need to do. Oh, so do you feel shame and do you doubt yourself? I have a hard time taking the initiative. I feel guilty. Do you see where you might be stuck? Industry. Identity. I'm confused about who I am. Come on now. Accountability Toolbox. Accountability Toolbox. And so much more. And just imagine if you put these tools in the Joint Accountability Toolbox, the JAT, the Joint Accountability Toolbox. What do I mean joint? The parent holds themselves accountable. The child holds themselves accountable. The parent holds the child accountable. The child holds the parent accountable. For how can this child learn how to be assertive and establish boundaries if they aren't allowed to hold you accountable, if they aren't allowed to exercise those boundaries? Who do you think you are that you are above being held accountable by the people you are teaching? How do they get to practice being secure in this insecure world? How do they get to practice that? If you tell them the only two places they will go if they don't listen to you is dead or in jail. If they feel the home is jail and if their mind is dead, you're not really giving them any other place to go. You're making them more angry because your posture before your approach is from fear because you don't understand. Those who don't understand behavior learn best how to suppress. I'll say that again. Those who don't understand behavior learn best how to suppress. Those who don't understand behavior learn best how to suppress. But those who understand behavior learn best how to address. Those who understand behavior learn best how to address. Those who don't understand behavior learn best how to address. Those who don't understand behavior learn best how to suppress. But those who understand behavior learn best how to address. Come on now. You know I'm about to write that. We're going to write that tool right now. We're going to write that tool right now. We're going to put this in accountability toolbox. We're going to put this in the accountability toolbox. Come on now. We're going to put this in the accountability toolbox. We're going to put this in the accountability toolbox. Here we go. Those who don't understand behavior learn best how to what? Suppress. Suppress. Those who don't understand behavior learn best how to suppress. Those who do understand behavior learn best how to addressed. How to address the behavior. How to address the behavior. Where can I find a course that teaches behavior and how to address it? I teach a parenting course. I'm not lying. I teach a parenting course every Tuesday on Zoom, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time to 9:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And it's free. You said First Days of School is a good book to read. Ooh, hold on. I want to get that because you made a recommendation. Those who don't understand behavior learn best how to suppress. I got you. Those who do understand behavior learn best how to address. Come on now. As a police officer, I'm going to tell you this, and this is not the case for all academies, but this is the case for more than half of them. They teach police officers, let me quantify this better. Let me quantify it better. A percentage of police departments and police academies teach a percentage of police officers more on how to suppress the behavior than how to address it. That's a very fair statement. When your responses are there's a video that's out there, and there's an officer who put himself in front of the car that he had stopped, saying, "Stop right now, stop right now, stop right now." First of all, let's talk about the laws of physics. This is a car. I am not equal or greater force than that car. So what am I relying on? I'm relying on you recognizing my authority. If you don't recognize my authority, what are your options when things go bad? Run me over. Why am I going to put myself in front of a thing that is equal or greater than the force of my voice? So why would you do that? No. Get out the way. Stop. If they don't, get out the way. I'm not jumping on the car. I don't want to get hit. I don't want to get on. You see what I'm saying? Come on now. Especially when their amygdala is activated. I'm not, right? Here's another thing too. Come on. I like that you said that. Bird, crap, dolphin, dog. That's a hell of a name. Here we go. Sometimes people don't understand that the limbic system within our body will override your desire to want to comply. Why? Your limbic system is responsible for a lot of your big behavior responses. When your limbic system and your prefrontal cortex that work together say, this is an environment where we are now safe, it is okay to relax and comply, Now this person can comply. Some people don't understand that. Those who don't understand behavior learn best how to suppress. Those who do understand behavior learn best how to address. If I want this person's compliance, let's work together and make each other feel safe and secure so that we can still be in the mindset, the rational mindset to problem solve. It's just that simple. Doesn't mean it's going to work all the time. Most of the time it will. Right? I'm sitting here telling this person, comply, 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 comply. You can keep on saying it, but that doesn't mean they're going to do it. So what do? You get frustrated. You don't understand. You try to beat. And what do? You suppress their behavior, but you still didn't address it. You suppress their behavior, but you still didn't address it. Hello, dear, was it Latrine? Was it, I'm trying to say your last name. You say you're from Frankfurt. You're making me think, speaking in Deutsch, right? I almost said como está. That's Spanish, right? Wie geht's es Ihnen, right? Here we go. All right, so how to join the parenting class. How to join the parenting class. Hey, from the UK, what's going on? Text the number. I'm trying to think of a unique number because I've had so many people texting numbers, right? Text the number 5 if you want to join this week's parenting class coming up. 773 644 5000. 773 644 5000. 773 644 5000. Text the number 5 to that number so I can send you the link. 773 644 5000. Text the number 5. It's free. It don't cost nothing. It is free. 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 It don't cost anything. Okay? And when I send you, matter of fact, text me your email. That's probably what I should have said. Text me your email address, right? Your email address. 773 644 5000. Hey, what's going on? 773 644 5000. 773 644 5000. If you can text me your email address, I'm sitting right here in front of my computer. I'm about to end this live, okay? I will send you the email welcoming you to the parenting course and the book that goes with it, because you're going to have to do the book. You're going to have to do the book, okay? 773 644 5000. Thank you for that. 773 644 5000. 773 644 5000. 773 644 5000. He said, Dr. Shergood, we're a small community who like to see your videos. Why are you so often checked? Are you talking about like my traffic stop wise? I'll answer that question. I will answer that question. So people do have questions regarding my traffic stop videos, and they want to know, why am I so often pulled over? I'm a firearms instructor. Among other things, you said you have my Green Kids Parents Workbook. Oh, how do you like it, Morgan? How do you like it? I hope you do like it. I hope you do. I really, really hope you do. What's up, Ariane? What's going on? I hope you do like that parenting book. So, because I teach firearms, when I teach firearms, I also teach how to interact with law enforcement. And you can teach all the time, right? But if I don't show you how to do it and consistently, right? And consistently, if I don't show you how to do it, then, there's value in those videos. And people may not see it. That's fine. But there's value in those videos. Okay? So that's why I leave the front plate off, so that it triggers the likelihood of a traffic stop, so I can show you how to interact with law enforcement. Now, a lot of police see me and I don't get stopped. Some do, and I do. I comply. It works out. That doesn't mean it will always work out. That doesn't mean it will always work out. But it does, right? It can work out. I think that's better to say. It can work out. That don't mean it always will. It can work out. And you don't know the emails and the text messages and the direct messages and the inboxes that I get from people saying, I tried what you did and it worked. I stayed humble. I did not argue. You see what I'm saying? I know what I am doing is saving lives. I know what I am doing is saving lives. And if I know my why is stronger than any negative criticism that a person can give me, because while I'm doing it for you, you may not be in the mindset to understand what I'm even doing. And so, just because you're not in the mindset to understand, remember I said exposure comes before comprehension. So I have to expose you to the constant videos of you seeing me do it over and over and over again. Why? Education must be rigorous. Education must be relevant. Educators must build relationships before learning happens, and the education must be reinforced repetitively. So that's why I do it. That's all it is. That's all it is. That's all it is. You said I look familiar, Instructor Mike? Well, thank you. I hope that's a good thing. All right, y'all, let me get out of here so I can go ahead and eat a little snack. I've been fighting my fat through what I've been eating. Accountability Toolbox, Joint Accountability Toolbox, Joint Accountability Toolbox, Joint Accountability Toolbox. All right, here we go. Before I go, right? If you are interested in purchasing children's books, right? Here we go. I am the author. Is this, we'll use this. Here we go. Oh, I don't want to destroy that. I want to keep that up there. MikeBrownsBooks.com. MikeBrownsBooks.com. This is one of the books that I've authored. Whose Fault Not Mine. Whose Fault Not Mine. And I have a whole library of books. I'm trying to find a catalog. It's somewhere around here. Here we go. Whose Fault Not Mine. If you go to whatitellmyselffirst.com, 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 or even MikeBrownsBooks.com. Mike Brown's Books, you said the number 773-644-5000. 773-644-5000. 773-644-5000. Yeah, people's stuff is coming through. I'm watching it now. It's coming through now. 773-644-5000. 773-644-5000. I'm seeing people's stuff come through now. Yeah, it came through now. Yep. Numbers are coming through now. 773-644-5000. 773-644-5000. Okay. That's the number, right? And well, here's the catalog that I got. I got to pull that down. Here we go. What I Tell Myself First. That's what it is. If you go to What I Tell Myself, this is the book series. I do have children's books in English and Spanish and workbooks. They're all $5 a piece. If you enjoyed this live, and you would like to contribute, the football guide, he was one of my mentees. He said, I love your books. Thank you. If you would like to contribute to this live, right, or contribute to my efforts, right, all of my children's books and workbooks, $5 a piece. Right? $5 a piece. $5 a piece. That's all it is. Right? And I will ship them to you. $5 a piece. MikeBrownsBooks.com. MikeBrownsBooks.com. Right? I think this is the book that she was referring to. Whose Fault Not Mine. It's a coloring and activity book. It actually teaches about responsibility with my favorite friend, Mike the Tiger. He lives in the wild with his friends named Kenny and Miles. Right? Here we go. And it's coloring. You got all type of activities in here. My books are designed to be tools where you can teach your children about various things, right? It's important to sit here and teach our children what they need to know using various tools, right? MikeBrownsBooks.com, MikeBrownsBooks.com. All right. They're only $5. I don't charge a lot to get these books. I don't charge a lot, right? I just don't. I want you all to be able to have these tools and make them affordable and accessible. Affordable and accessible. MikeBrownsBooks.com. MikeBrownsBooks.com. Right? Whose Fault Not Mine? Stay on Track. Mommy, Daddy, Please Teach Me. Okay? Mommy, Daddy, Please Teach Me. Impatient Patience, one of my favorite books. Impatient Patient, A Patient for Now, to slow you down some way, somehow. Fast is fast and speed is speed, but sometimes slow is best indeed. I want to stand, I want to ride. I know, said Mom, but soon in time. You've been impatient. Impatient said since 3, but being, I forgot what it was. I've had a brain fart, right? But I believe in you, just not that. How about now? What I tell myself about self-protection. I've got what I tell myself about no. I've got a lot of quality $5 books. $5 books. If a $5 tool can be the thing that you teach repetitively over and over and over again, you said, when is the collector's edition being released? I haven't released it yet. Right? I haven't released it yet. That's coming up. I haven't released it yet. I also have an audio book too. If you go to Audible, right, and you look up what I tell now you want to talk about the collection? Go to Audible and look up What I Tell Myself, the audiobook collector's edition, right? I'll show you in my Audible. This is how it looks. Together in the Wendy's. This is how it looks. What I Tell Myself, the audiobook series. I'm narrating and my friend Amy is narrating too. It's only $4.07. What I Tell Myself, the audiobook series. Right? So you get a collection of the audiobooks. 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 Right? There we go. What I Tell Myself, the audiobook series. It's a collection of the audiobooks. So you get all the audiobooks for only what? I think $4 or $5 on Audible. Right? A collection of all the audiobooks. Some I'm narrating. Others my friend Amy is narrating. Right? Then I have my very first book that I wrote. My very first book that I wrote. What I Tell Myself First. Children's Real World Affirmations of Self-Esteem. I must always tell myself the truth. I must never lie to myself, ever. I must love me first. And yes, you did say if I have a YouTube channel. Yes, my videos. Matter of fact, I love the financial support. That would be fine. But you can go to my YouTube page for the children's books too. Author Mike and Friends. I'm hooking y'all up. I am hooking y'all up. Here we go. Author Mike and Friends. This is how the YouTube channel looks. Author Mike and Friends. Author Mike and Friends. That's the name of the YouTube channel. Right? Author Mike and Friends. I've got all these audiobooks in video form. All these audiobooks in video form, including some of the stuff that I do regarding my children's mentorship program. All the audiobooks, including some of the stuff that I do with my mentorship programs. Author Mike and Friends. Stay on Track. That's a great book. Author Mike and Friends. Right? Let's start to promote a lot of this great, wholesome stuff for kids. And if you don't like it, tell me. I'll make corrections. Right? Here we go. Stay on Track. Whose Fault Not Mine? I literally have a playlist called Story Time. And you get all the videos. All the videos. Right? And this is free. Just subscribe. This is free. This is free, right? Stay on track. Mommy, daddy, please teach me. Whose fault, not mine. What I tell myself about talent. Affirmations for kids. What I tell myself, stop, fool. What I tell myself about no, right? Here we go. Impatient patience.
Epic is more than a digital library. It's books that read to them.
Don't forget sprinkles.
Impatient Patience by Michael Brown. In a home in a not-so-distant past lived a little girl named Patience who was really fast. Patience was 8.
I'm just telling you. Yeah, Impatient Patience. And then I wrote a sequel to Impatient Patience, which is Birthday, Birthday, Birthday.
Birthday. Birthday.
Impatient Patience Special Day.
Special.
I'm not out here just teaching about firearms. I'm actually out here teaching about a lot of things that children need to know and reminders that adults need to know too. I'm just saying. So if you want to support by purchasing books, MikeBrownsBooks.com, right? If you want to go to my YouTube page and just watch the videos for free, I am totally fine with that. Author Mike and Friends. That's why I put those videos out there. Author Mike and Friends, right? If you want the audiobook to be able to listen into the car, thank you, Osama bin Laden. That's a heck of a name. When did I start? 2019. I started that in 2019, right? And then if you want to go to Audible and you want to listen in the car, you got my first book, What I Tell Myself First, right? And then your name is hard. Oh, my Lord. It's an awesome name. And then What I Tell Myself, the audiobook series, right? What I Tell Myself First, the audiobook series, right? So I'm just saying. All right, y'all. Let me get out of here. I got things to do. Yeah, I do a lot of stuff. Yes, in my videos, I really am getting pulled over. They are not staged. Because if they do become staged, the officers run the risk of getting in trouble with their departments. So they're not staged. The website is MikeBrownsBooks.com. MikeBrownsBooks.com. Mike, MikeBrownsBooks.com. Thank you. And if you get books, as soon as the order comes through, I definitely got time of day. I'll ship them out, all that great stuff. Yes, I do offer, for those of you all in the Chicagoland area, yes, I do have concealed carry classes and more concealed carry classes that are beyond just the basic 16 hours, okay? So if you're interested in that, I'm going to give you another number, okay? All you have to do is text CCW to 630-360-0548. I say again, CCW to 630-360-0548. Michelle, you said you need a mentor. I will definitely mentor you. I followed you. Okay, so we can talk about that. 630-360-0548. 630-360-0548. 630-360-0548. That's CCW. 630-360-0548. Just text the word CCW. Yeah. You said what happened to my daughter? Oh, she's fine. She is totally fine. My daughter's fine. That's if you want concealed carry classes in Lab Cat. I just followed you. Lab Cat. So follow me back and, you can send me a message. All right, y'all. Peace.